Hi everyone, this is Mikko and here I'm painting a piece called Proper Hydration. I started sketching this piece on my phone. I use Procreate Pocket with a Wacom bamboo sketch pen. It's really easy to take out pretty much anywhere, like in an elevator you can get some art done and then you can continue it later. As you can see, my sketching can barely even be called line art. It's more of me just feeling out the volume of the main shapes. After I have made enough repeated lines along the surfaces of the main illustration elements, I can understand them better in 3 dimensions, and this helps me paint them better later. The actual lines don't really do that much. And when I'm done with this portion, I export the image to iPad version of Procreate, and then I start doing the detailed version of everything. I'm not deleting the lines either. I'm dropping them down on the single layer around the midpoint of the painting. At that point I'm pretty sure I'm committed to having this composition. I like the 6B pencil texture, and it's a nice kind of baking element in this piece, where most of the brushes are all just the same flat brush. You can find both of those as default brushes in Procreate. The opacity of my brush is at 100% all the time. This is just my personal opinion, but I think it leads to bolder, more expressive paintings, and you kind of have to make bigger decisions faster when you don't have low opacity in your brush. The finishing phase in this style always ends up taking a lot of time. It's just a lot of refining edges and making sure the most important parts read properly. If you're having trouble with this part, I suggest giving yourself a bit aggressive deadline to finishing everything. That's a good way to preserve the painterly feeling in the image, but at the same time focusing the attention on the main points of interest. That's why it's actually better not to refine every single edge of the painting, because that'll make it more confusing for the viewer, because they'll have harder time figuring out what part they should be looking at. So if you can't finish everything, it helps the painting, because if you have a deadline, you will be just making priorities in your painting. So you want certain things to be finished at least if the piece has to be finished, and the rest will kind of like end up receding in background when they have more sketchy lines. Personally, I'm pretty terrible at keeping any houseplants alive. I usually end up killing everything accidentally, might I add. So I would be just super happy to have this little guy around the house making sure that all the plants stay alive, but at least having him in my gallery now makes me happy as well. That's the next best thing. So I'm overall pretty happy with the whole piece. It just makes me smile, and I think that's pretty much for a picture, if I can do that to myself. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe and press all the buttons, and I'll see you next time. Bye!